advantage, and they're now 2 for 75. McInerney is 27.90 out, Lehman is 19.90 out. The Smith batsman, Henry Hunt, caught half a bowl Siddle for a duck. Daniel Drew caught half a bowl Perry for 23. We've seen all the bowlers really get the ball big here on this pitch. It is jumping off a good length, which has caused a lot of consternation. In fact, we saw one ball from Perry hit the helmet of McInerney, but he was able to stay out there. He's on 27.90 out, and Lehman has played a couple of good shots, including a full shot in the last over, which has helped him move on to 19. So at the moment, South Australia leading by 150. They have got 8 wickets in hand, and they're trying to press the advantage that they've got here at the Adelaide Oval on the third day.
Thank you very much to Zane Bojak. Meanwhile, WA are continuing to power away against Tasmania. Chris Rowbottom is watching on. And we might have just lost Chris potentially there, but we'll come back to him. Tasmania and WA. Chris, have we got you now?
Hello, yes. Second session on day 3 here at Bellarine, WA and Tasmania, and it's WA who was just edged in front by 4 runs on Tasmania's first innings total of 317. WA now 5 for 321. It's courtesy of a 50-run partnership between Hilton Cartwright and Ashton Agar. Cartwright's into the 90s too. He's 93, 203 deliveries. Agar's 26 from 85, and what has been a largely chanceless innings from Hilton Cartwright, stretching back into day 2 yesterday. So 5 for 321, the Western Australians. 3 wickets have fallen today. The first was Jaden Goodwin, bowled by Matt Kuhneman for 94, and then it was Ashton Turner, bowled by Gabe Bell. Bell picking up a second when he removed Joel Curtis. Both of those batters removed for just the 1 run. So Western Australia with a slight lead here, 4 runs to the good over Tasmania. Second session on day 3, 5 for 321. Hilton Cartwright, iron a century, 93 from 203 deliveries.
Thank you very much to Chris Rowbottom, keeping us across Tasmania and WA. Just repeating, in the WBBL, the Adelaide Strikers taking on the Melbourne Renegades. In the 9th over, the Strikers are 2 for 56 with Charlie McGrath on 16. Matty Penner is on 2. Coverage is available on the ABC Listen app. Just click on the WBBL button. But now a chance to focus in on the Melbourne Cup, the 164th running of the Melbourne Cup. It's history and it's sporting folklore all in one. We've brought Clinton Hull and Claire Lindop, who rode in the Melbourne Cup on 3 occasions, into the studio to bring you everything we need to know about the Melbourne Cup. Hugh, welcome to you.
Clinchy, pleasure to be here on the Sunday after Derby Day, a couple of days ahead of the Cup. All the lift-outs in the Sunday newspapers have now got scrawl all over them, ready to be chopped up for the sweeps in the offices around the nation. What an exciting time to be in Melbourne, and the weather looks like it's going to be great as well for Flemington on Tuesday.
We had 81,000 in at Flemington for Derby Day. Now one of the great weeks in sporting landscape in Australia gets underway as we head to Flemington again on Tuesday. Claire Lindop knows what it's like to ride in the great race. Claire, welcome to you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a fantastic day to be out at Flemington for Derby Day yesterday, and looking forward to that first Tuesday in November. Walking into the track, it was just the roses, everything's just on point, and just, yeah, a big sense of excitement.
It is the day where life can change depending on what happens from a jockey's point of view, from a trainer's point of view, from an owner's point of view. And it is, of course, now an international event with so many international trainers wanting to come out to Australia and leave with the Melbourne Cup. What's it like, Claire, as a jockey, as you're counting down to Tuesday, and want to make sure you just keep yourself in good order and kill the time, get ready for when it all unfolds?
It's very much a different feel to it as well. People would say, I'll stay in your normal prep. I like it, only like it's like a grand final. You know, the players are trying to stay in their normal routine, but you're doing a grand final parade, you're doing other appearances. And a bit like that for a jockey, of course, we talked about yesterday, how we saw sort of a rider like Hugh Bowman fly in to ride at Flemington, fly back out to Hong Kong to compete. I guess if you've ridden yesterday, you're just doing some prep today. Some of them even riding these races again today and tomorrow before they even go to Flemington. But for me, when I was riding in the Melbourne Cup, I always had to watch my weight. So
I was about to say there's going to be some very, very hungry jockeys on Tuesday, because of the way that the weights for this year's Cup, you've got 10 horses under the 51 kilos, so a lot of the big name jockeys. So we have been absolutely regaling James McDonald over the last couple of weeks, picked up another 2 Group 1s. He is the man at the moment, but because of the weight scale of this year's Cup, he hasn't got a ride. James McDonald has not got a ride in the Melbourne Cup because the top weight Vauban's carrying 55.5. There's only a 5.5 kilo squeeze from top weight to the bottom weight, and the likes of Vauban, Buckaroo, Circle of Fire at the top of the weights. All of those jockeys had already been placed, so the hottest whip in the country does not get a gig in the biggest race in the country. How does that happen, Claire?
I think the whole handicap race system here is very unusual. I haven't seen a race, a Melbourne Cup like this, where the top weight is only 55.5 kilos. It's something that is much talked about this year. We're probably a little bit unlucky that we haven't got last year's Melbourne Cup winner in the race. Generally speaking, horses that have raced or won, the Melbourne Cup that will go again the next year. We saw that with Gold Trip, and then without a fight, obviously won last year, and he was going to be in the race and hasn't managed to come up this spring. So it sort of has affected the weight for that reason. And we've also heard some other horses along the way haven't been cleared to take part in the Melbourne Cup. There's also now everyone's a little bit more cunning. You don't want to actually get into penalties. So the trainers are actually finding their way into the race without getting penalised from a win and trying to get the horses into the field with that light weight.
So if you're trying to get down, I'd love to get your perspective. What's it like to waste ahead of a big ride? And we're going to be hearing from Kieran Maher this hour. I caught up with him at the barrier draw and asked him a little bit about the late appointment of Tyler Schiller for St George, who's one of the 4 that Kieran Maher's got. And Tyler very famously got down to 49 kilos to ride and win on Celestial Legend in the big Randwick Autumn Mile race of handicap, which is the Doncaster. So, and I remember Tyler not having rides on the day because of the strength it takes out of your body if you are wasting to get down.